Hello YouTube, this is Keith Kevin Ken, and that is the brand new, just released Spyderco Nirvana. And this is my first look of the Spyderco Nirvana. I just picked this up coming home at my front desk, and I'm happy to have this. When this was shown off on Instagram months ago, everyone went crazy over it. And Spyderco now has delivered this wonderful knife, the Spyderco Nirvana. Now let's talk a little bit about it. And then I'm going to compare it to knives. I'm going to talk about it, give you more information than you have ever gotten from a Keith Kevin Ken knife video. Remember, I just opened this thing up. It just came out of the case, this nice case, just an hour ago. So these are my first look at the Spyderco Nirvana. Now, of course, the Spyderco Nirvana really came on the scene a couple of years ago when it was the winner of Blade Magazine's Imported Knife of the Year award, a real prestigious award from Blade Magazine. And I'll tell you why it was the imported knife of the year. This was made out of, and I'm going to say, a famous, wonderful factory out of Taichung, Taiwan. Now, sometimes I'll be talking to friends who aren't into knives, or people who are into knives that don't know Spyderco, and they go, oh, it's a little cheap Taiwan knife. No, buddies. This is a great factory. If you know anything about Spyderco, the Techno came out of that. Remember the Techno? It's one of the top 10. The entire Sage series, I just have Sage 2 in front of you. I have the entire series, but I want to give you an example. Oh yeah, that came out of this factory in Taiwan. The very first flipper for Spyderco, the Southern. Yeah, the Southern was made out of this factory. Now, people who know Spyderco's know that that factory has been just unbelievable, the quality of their knives. And you know, Spyderco, this is not the first one in 2016. I'm recording this in 2016. This is not the first new knife of 2016 that came out of that factory. No. The tie stick came out of that factory this year. Oh, it's beautiful. And guess what? So did the brand new Myrtle. This is a beast of a factory. So when Spyderco says we're all in on a knife, especially with a wonderful custom designer, when they go all in, and they went all in with this Peter Rossetti knife, they go to the best. And that Taichung, Taiwan factory is the best. Yes, they do American-made knives coming out of Colorado. That's where the Delica and the Endura and the Manix and a lot of knives come out of. But I'll tell you, this factory, they have a long-standing relationship with the folks who did that. In fact, there's a YouTube video where Sal and Eric are together being interviewed, and they talk about that factory and the wonderful work, and the fact that Sal and the father of that factory have been very close over all these many years, and now they have introduced Eric and the son of this factory so that they can continue on working. And that's where they went when they wanted to go all in on this beautiful Peter Rossetti knife. Now later, I'm going to talk to you about why I've been on pins and needles since buying this knife. That's later, but let's talk about the knife right now. Again, Peter Rossetti knife. Peter Rossetti is really well known for his one-piece construction of knives. Some people call it a monoframe construction or an integral construction. This is made out of one thick sheet, a block of titanium. It's then folded over. So this is just one sheet of titanium, a thick sheet of titanium folded over. You see all the 3D shaping that has been done, just one piece. And then the integral Chris Reeve frame lock is also carved out of this piece. I mean, it's a perfect piece of engineering. Now, of course, Peter Rossetti does it by hand and does a wonderful knife. Man, I wish I could afford a Peter Rossetti knife. I've been looking at all of those knives online. I want one. Of course, this is a production knife, and they did the same thing. So Eric explained it as saying that this knife was tough to mass produce. Remember, Spyderco is not a custom maker. They're not doing it by hand. So it's all tooling. And so what he's done, they put it through the process where they do the shape of the knife with all the cutting and everything, all the contouring of the knife. They do all of the texturing of the knife. And then they have to put it back in so they can do this wonderful geometric shapes. It starts from the bottom and goes all through the knife. See those lines? It is really beautiful. It's a piece of art. I know, I'm slurping. Hey, I just got a new knife. Hey, I've been waiting for a couple of days for this knife. So yes, there's going to be some slurping. Later I'll do one after I've had it for a while and have come back down to earth. But right now, my big feet are really not touching the carpet right now because I'm loving this knife. Oh man, it's just beautiful. Some jimping on the bottom for a reverse hold, jimping on the blade. Eric, the reason I rushed out to get this is I want to show you guys, but Eric also was saying that he was worried about the production. Remember, when they retool to do a production like this, it costs a lot of money. When they talk about having to get thick blocks of titanium, it's hard to get it in. He said there's delays in finding that material. And then the process itself takes a very long time. He was hoping that they would do about 50 knives per week and hoping that he could keep up with demand. The price of this probably will keep demand down a little. But man, I just really love it. The clip looks like the regular Spyderco clip. But man, it feels great in the hand. It really does. So let's talk about, oh man, I'll tell you, the D10 is unbelievable. Let's talk about this blade. I love the stonewash. Both the handle has stonewash. The blade is heavy stonewash as well. I was a little concerned when I first saw the picture of the Nirvana. I was hoping they wouldn't put that gray coating on it. That they did with a couple of knives that I hated. No, this is just a real stonewash blade that, oh, it looks great. They're using S90V, great S90V, CPM S90V steel, thick blade too. Double swedge on the top. Oh man, of course it's sharp. And no, I won't draw blood to prove that it's sharp. But did you see what just happened with this knife? Released. Remember, just got it. Smooth. And it's going to be even smoother. That D10 is something else. I'll tell you, I just love it. Look at this. Yeah, right out of the box. Just a wonderful knife. It feels nice. Let me give you some of the statistics on this knife. Oh man, that one piece just feels nice. You know, I was a little concerned, and it's a good slab of titanium, which is great. Yes, I know when you carry it, you don't want it too heavy, but when you pay premium prices, you know, Chris Reeve plus prices, you know, Sabinza plus prices for a Spyderco, you want to make it feel nice, and it does feel nice. Again, CPM S90V steel, which is really nice. Open, the total length is 8.7 inches long. It's a real nice knife. I'm going to show you it compared to others. Closed, it's just under 5 inches, 4.96 inches. The blade is 3.74 inches, which is just great. I told you it's CPM S90V. Tip up carry. Let's see, does it have? Nope. You know, it only comes tip up. Let me just tell you, first, I love tip up carry, but I have never turned down a knife that was tipped down. I know you guys, I know people really have an issue with that. Comment, tell me how dumb I am. But if I have a great knife, I'm okay with tip up or tip down. Unless you're in a huge knife fight and you have to get it out of your pocket, yada yada, I get it. I'm not in a lot of knife fights. I love tip up. I hate, now let me tell you what I hate. I hate when a knife is beautiful. The handle is wonderful like this, especially when they have to go through the process they have to go through to do one block of titanium into a handle. I don't want, if I pick tip up, I don't want to turn and have all kind of holes all over the place so that people can have any kind of variety they want. I get it when it's an Endura, Delica, etc. But again, when I'm paying the money that I'm paying for this, I want it pristine. I'm okay that you don't have all those options. And I think that Spyderco's okay with it as well. Okay, I think I've given you all of that. Now let's talk about the comparisons. It's one thing to give you all the numbers. Usually, if you follow me on the Keith Kevin Kin channel, what you're watching now, go check it out. Over 150 playlists. Every single day I do a pocket dump here on the Keith Kevin Kin channel. Again, 150 of them are on the playlist. Tomorrow, we'll do another one. I also have an Instagram. It's at Keith Kevin Kin. Go check that Instagram out. I have a pretty good collection of knives, and you'll see those. I post at least 4 posts a day. It starts with my first cup of coffee. So go check that out. Follow the feed. And hit subscribe because I'll continue to show knives every single day and also some new knives as well. But let's look at it compared to some knives that you guys are familiar with, because I think that's better than me just giving you numbers. This is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. It's a little bit bigger than the Paramilitary 2. Here's the Spyderco Endura. It's a little bit smaller when I'm talking about the blade than the Endura, but close. And then I'm just throwing the Delica in because I know a lot of you have Delicas and you can kind of judge the shape. If you're a Chris Reeve fan like I am, well, here's the Sabinza 21 compared to it. It's a little bit bigger than the Sabinza 21. I tell you, it feels like a good Sabinza 21. It feels like a good Paramilitary 2, even though the blade is just a little bit bigger than both. Here's the tie lock, so you can get kind of a perspective on it. I also have the small Sabinza 21 as well. Again, I know it's not the same size, but you can get perspective if you have any of these knives. I even threw in a Menunde because I wanted to have one breathe a little bit. Spyderco Nirvana. Now here's why I was so crazed over it. Again, this is Chris Reeve, large Sabinza prices, a little bit more than that, but around the same. And so I have to tell you, I love Spydercos. I have over 400 Spydercos. I have about 50 Chris Reeve knives. I love them both, but I actually paused. I couldn't wait for the Nirvana, but I just realized that there probably is a price point for Spyderco that I might not cross because there are so many Striders and just so many new knives, hinderers, and more Chris Reeve knives and Microtech. You guys get it, that I think there is a price point, but I made a commitment that I think this is going to be an epic year for Spyderco. And so I put some money away. I'm making sure that every 2 weeks when I get paid, I'm looking for the new Spyderco knives. I'm going to get every single one of them this time because they're going crazy on their 40th anniversary. So I had to get the Nirvana. But man, my heart, I overpaid a little bit of it because I wanted to be one of the first on YouTube to share it with you. But I'm going to tell you though, should you buy it? Hey, I just had it for an hour and I'm happy with it. So, of course, an hour into this, I'd go, yeah. But it's a hefty price. And if you told me, should you do this or should you do a Sabenza or the new Nkosi, the large Nkosi that's coming out, or a new Hinderer or Strider or whatever, I love what it looks like. Oh, I love this one-piece construction. I really slurp, and I am in love with the Chris Reeve integral lock. But man, it is a pretty knife, isn't it? It's so wonderful. I love the stonewash. I just love everything about it. It's hefty price. Got close to my production price on a Spyderco, but I love it. It's worth it. I understand the business of it. Check in with me later. Subscribe. Thumb this up if you enjoyed the review. Hey, you guys. Have a perfect day. Thank you for giving me so much of your attention. I know how important your time is and how costly it is, so I really appreciate it. You guys have a great, great day. Goodbye.